Have you ever been caught brand-handed? Imagine a tech giant decides to launch a new product, a smart home assistant with the name The Virtual Butler. Sounds fancy, right? Well, things take a hilarious turn when they realize that the product's name translates to the virtual toilet in another language. Talk about a crappy branding choice. These branding mistakes serve as a reminder that even the biggest companies can make comical mistakes. So it's important to carefully consider your branding decisions and avoid unintentional laughs. Stay tuned as we delve into the serious side of branding and share valuable insights on how to create a strong and successful brand.
If you enjoy the Miss Biz podcast but still have questions or need advice, we have some exciting news for you. Join us for Miss Biz Connects. Miss Biz Connects is a weekly 1-hour Zoom call on Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This is 1 hour each week dedicated to you. We want to meet you and put our brains together to help you grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
To access the meeting link, visit us on our social media pages at Miss Biz Podcast or send us an email to missbizpod@gmail.com.
Join us this Friday and let's grow the Miss Biz Nation.
Hey, lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Boltz. I'm an attorney and founder of Boltz Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Boltz, owner of Boltz Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the Miss in biz.
Let's get biz done.
Whether you're a startup or an established company, branding plays a pivotal role in shaping how your customers perceive you, your products, and your services.
2 furniture stores open in the same city. Within 4 years, the first has grown by 10% annually and remains a single store location. The other store, however, grows into a 6-store firm within the same time span. What did they do differently? The Ultimate Sales Machine book tells us that Furniture Store 1 focused on product awareness. In other words, when a customer comes into Furniture Store 1, they're told all about the product features of the particular couch or table that they're interested in. That creates a one-time sale. Furniture Store 2, though, engaged in the more effective marketing approach of brand awareness as opposed to product awareness. Furniture Store 2 tells people about the store's history, their dedication to customer service, their knowledge in the furniture craftsmanship, and about how all these things directly benefit the customer. So Furniture Store 2 creates a lifetime customer as opposed to a one-time sale.
Effective branding is not just about a pretty logo or a pretty color scheme or a catchy slogan. It encompasses the overall experience that your customers have with your company. So as we saw from the furniture store example, it's about creating a memorable impression on customers and establishing your business's unique identity in the market. And in order to do that, you really have to look deep to see what your customers are looking for.
A strong brand builds trust and credibility, as customers are more likely to choose a brand that they recognize and trust over an unfamiliar one. Apple is a good example. Apple has become synonymous with innovation elegance, and user-friendly technology. People don't just buy Apple products, they buy into the Apple lifestyle. Coca-Cola is another example. Its brand is happiness, celebration, and the joy of sharing moments with loved ones. This emotional connection has helped Coca-Cola to remain a dominant brand over decades.
Effective branding clearly expresses your values through your messaging, visuals, and actions to attract like-minded customers who resonate with your brand. And so we're going to ask Brooke here, what type of brand goals did you have for Bolts Legal when you first established your business?
When I started Bolts Legal, we did online research to find out what do people want in a lawyer they hire. And the overarching result was that people were looking for assertiveness and aggressiveness in the lawyer they hire. So that worked well for me because my personality already fits well with that, with that, ideal that customers are looking for. So we created the brand around, a dark color scheme. Our logo is black and gray. Our website has our image of the lightning bolt. Our slogan is "Fear no storm." The images and the photos I took of myself are strong power poses, with, power lips, I call them, which is like bright or dark lipstick, and, a black dress, in a power pose, and, not smiling, either a stern face or, a very minimal closed mouth smile. Just everything we were looking to exhibit the signal of strength and power and, boss lady vibes.
So that's a great example of that. And another branding hack you can use for your business is to humanize. This is something that people absolutely want to see. So make sure that you show the faces of behind your company, tell compelling stories, and engage with your audience on a personal level. This helps to create an emotional bond, which fosters a long-term relationship and customer loyalty. So one thing that I like to do with my business is my whole goal is that I want to invoke excitement. So I want people to feel empowered. I want them to feel encouraged and excited about hiring me because of what I can do to really make them stand out from their competitors. And a way that I do this is, on all customer touch points. So from my website to my social media to everything that I do, I try to include pictures from photo shoots, whether it's clients that are engaging in certain activities or pictures of my kids with different products that they're modeling. What I try to use those images, that humanity side of it, to ultimately create that emotional connection with my audience.
It's also important to maintain consistency. So as Rachel said about she's posting these things across all her different touch points, you want to be doing that as well. That's across your website, your social media channels, the packaging, advertising, anything that the customer sees, you want to be a consistent image, a consistent brand. And I think that a way to do this is when you're deciding upon your brand to also think if it meshes well with who you are naturally. For me, that strong, powerful, boss lady, girl power vibe worked well for who I was already. But if that wasn't my personality, then it wouldn't have been a good branding choice for me, because you want to be consistent and authentic. And if it's not you, if you're just putting on a facade every time you make a social media post, then it's going to be hard to maintain that consistency. So think not just about what other people want to see, but think about, does that fit well with who you are naturally? Engage with the audience, share valuable content, A strong brand can also command higher prices because customers are willing to pay a premium for a brand they trust.
And all of these things that help to create that emotional connection is what's going to help create customer loyalty. So for customers to be loyal, not only are they going to be supporting your brand, but they're also going to be recommending your brand to others. So that's going to lead to repeat purchases, customer advocacy, and ultimately increased revenue for your business. So to kind of delve a little bit deeper is to really understand your target audience. So yes, we want to be genuine to who we are. Like, we want our vibe to be portrayed consistently across all platforms, and we want to be true to ourselves. But we also need to know what our customers are expecting and how to tailor that vibe to fit their needs. Because once you get the understanding of your target audience, you can create more targeted marketing campaigns and a personalized experience to fulfill those needs better than your customers can.
A good rule of thumb to evaluate whether your brand is effective or not is to listen to the comments that people say to you when they meet you after having seen your brand on social media or seen your website.
This segment is called Dope or Nope. This is where we want to hear from you regarding whether you think this idea is a good idea or a bad idea. Would you give it a thumbs up or would you give it a thumbs down? Now up, we have Brooke Bolts. Let's take it away.
Today's topic is business gifting. And the gift for your consideration is a painted rock. This painted rock, if you're watching on the video, you can see is painted white, and it has 2 stick figures, and it says, "Don't worry, I got your back." So I do a lot of work with chiropractors who, as you know, treat people's backs. So this is a gift that I've given to chiropractors. So I want to hear from you, though. Do you think this is dope or nope? Actually, today I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw a former client of mine put a comment on one of my posts. It was just a picture of me at a women's networking event, and he wrote "our sledgehammer," and he put like a muscle emoji, and I love that because that to me said that my brand is working. Like, if he's viewing me as a sledgehammer, then he's getting the image that I'm trying to portray with my brand. Another friend of mine, when she first met me, said, "You're a lot nicer than I expected you to be." And that was another sign to me that it's, they're getting the message. The message is boss lady, strong personality. And when I was a nice person, she was, she didn't expect that as much. So, listen to the things people are saying when they first meet you after seeing your brand, and that will kind of tell you if you're doing a good job at portraying the message you're trying to send.
And, the whole sledgehammer comparison, that just screams strength and empowerment, but it would also be great for you to use in storytelling. So the next thing that we're going to kind of talk about is how to use storytelling in branding. And what storytelling really involves, it entails sharing stories of your customers' successes and how your brand has made a positive impact in their lives. So for example, client reviews, if Brooke wanted to share a screenshot of what her client publicly posted, that would be an example of storytelling in branding. And what storytelling does is it just adds depth and personality to your brand, which makes it more relatable and more memorable.
Yes, exceptional customer service is also a part of building a strong brand. By providing exceptional experiences, you'll create brand advocates who will not only continue to support your business, but also recommend it to others. And this was kind of what you were talking about with the reviews. the reviews are part of your brand. And that's also another good place to look to see if your brand is being effective. What are people's takeaways from their experience with you?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people don't really realize that customer service is part of their branding. So from the way that you interact with your clients during sales meetings to the way that your employees are handling inquiries to, the very end delivery of your product or service, all of that encompasses the branding experience. So it's really important when you're hiring people to make sure that they know, that your employees know, like, these are our values, this is our personality, this is how we're going to treat our clients, because that's what really accurately reflects who we are, and we want to be consistent on all levels.
When you talk about customer service and branding, it immediately brings to mind Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A and, how can I be of service to you? And, just a lot of the very respectful comments that they say when they're serving you at a fast food restaurant is something that is very memorable and very genuine to their brand. So I agree with you that the customer service experience is an integral part of building your brand. So some other questions that you can ask yourself when evaluating your brand is, does your brand accurately reflect your company's values and personality? Does it resonate with your target audience? Is it memorable and differentiated from your competitors? And is it consistent across all customer touchpoints? When we talk about differentiating yourself from competitors, it brings to mind a billboard campaign that I did years ago where I was dressed in a football pads, a tackle football uniform. If you don't know my story, I played tackle football as a kid and also played on a women's professional football team when I was college age. So I put this on a billboard, me in this tackle football uniform, and the billboard said "Game On," and then "Bolts Legal." It was a bright red billboard, and I was wearing a white jersey with a red logo. So, this definitely was not a traditional image for a law firm. And it was risky, and I suspected that people would either love it or hate it, and I'm certain that many people hated it. But it definitely succeeded in differentiating myself from my competitors. There are literally thousands of attorney billboards that you pass probably all the time when you're driving. So I couldn't afford thousands of billboards. I could only afford a few. So I had to make them, worthwhile. I had to make them memorable. And so, so I did something that was out of the box to try to make it memorable. And the way that I gauged whether it worked or not is that people now, years later, will come up to me occasionally and say, I remember your billboard out on I-4 with the football uniform. So people remember it. And even back at the time that it was the billboards were up, we got a voicemail one time where someone called after hours and said, I just want you to know, I don't have a need for a lawyer, but if I ever do, you will be the attorney that I call. I love your billboard. And of course, it was from another strong woman who really, resonated with my image. And, in reality, she is my target audience. Women are who I relate to because we have a lot more in common. So it was a successful branding campaign for a number of reasons. One, it was consistent with the strong female, powerful persona. So it was consistent with the other parts of my brand. It was consistent with who I am as a person, with my own backstory and personality. It was memorable. It was different. And so for all those reasons, it was a great campaign that we launched at the time, and is a good example of a way to differentiate yourself, but still be true to your overall brand.
You know we're all about that case, no trouble. All about that case, no trouble. All about that case, no trouble. All about that case.
At Bolts Legal, we are all about your case. Text or call to schedule a free consultation for all your legal needs. boltslegal.com.
And I think that that's a great point to bring up. You know, a lot of people, they just get stuck on, you know, the colors or the tone of voice or these certain things, but they don't really, and they look at what their competitors are doing, but they don't really think like, what can I do to think outside the box? Because what happens is you don't want to mimic exactly what your competitors are doing. You want to duplicate it in a way that is going to make yours look way better than what they're doing. And the only way to do that is to differentiate yourself, think outside the box. And it's important to regularly evaluate and evolve your brand to ensure that it remains relevant and resonates with your target audience. So this is where, like, quarterly, you need to look and see, like, okay, am I still meeting the needs of my clientele? Has my business personality changed? And this is where a lot of businesses will go into the rebranding phase because they realize that their customers are looking for something different, or they realize that they have evolved from where they were when they first started. So making sure that, you know, not just when you start your business, but after you've been in it for a while, to consistently evaluate it and make sure that it's still having the same punch that it once did. So your brand, it's not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process that requires constant attention and effort. So to all of our listeners out there, remember that branding is much more than a logo. Branding is about creating a unique identity, building emotional connections, and being authentic. Don't underestimate the power of branding in your business strategy. Until next time. We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltslegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltsmedia.com. Let's get biz done.